sponsors.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm still here. Been sitting in this chair the whole time, waiting for you to come back for another episode of Think About It. I'm your host, Joshua Salaam, and you know who the sponsors are. They told me to take the jacket off today so you can just see penny appeal, small change, big difference, give you pennies so they can help the needy. Hey, we got a wonderful show lined up, a little bit different. It's gonna be a little bit different today. Got a interesting guest coming in. If you wanna find out who it is, you can't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Think About It. And let there be light. Sisters and brothers of the world, welcome to the Think About It show. Where we get it on. We be talking about stuff. You know, we be doing that. That's Ebonics. But anyway, my name's Joshua Salaam. I'm your host, and you have come for another episode of Think About It, where we talk about stuff that's going on in the Quran, stuff that's going on in the month of Ramadan, and in general, what's happening in the community that I feel is worthy of people to think about. And so I have an interesting segment today. Well, I think it's interesting. That's why I invited the guests, and I'm going to talk about it. And the hopes is that you think it's interesting as well. So in one of the first episodes, I think it was like the first or second episode, I was telling you a little bit about myself, that I haven't been on social media. A lot of people don't know much about Joshua Salaam unless you're in my inner circle. But throughout this show, I'll be dropping a little bit of info, little bits and pieces of who I am, what I've done, where I come from, what makes me me. So today, you're going to get one of those opportunities because it's relevant to what we're talking about today. So, are you ready? Yes. I saw you go like that. Yes. Hey, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a while. MashaAllah, how you doing? You didn't know I could see through and look at you. Anyway. So I was born in Camden, New Jersey. Camden, New Jersey. For those who don't know where Camden, New Jersey is, it's right across the water from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So it's a different state, and they're very close together. But that's where Camden is, right on the border. And at the age of 4, my mother moved to Kansas City, Missouri. All right? So now we're in Kansas City, Missouri at the age of 4. And 2 years after that, when I was 6 years old, my mother entered me into this martial arts class. And I was 6 years old, man, and I still remember those moments in that class. And I'm gonna give shout outs to my martial arts instructor, Uncle Rudolph Muhammad. What's up? Assalamu alaikum. How you doing? You know, this was a man that served as a father figure in my life, which is why I call him Uncle Rudolph. Now, we're going to take a quick tangent right here because this has been an issue between me and many other people in the Muslim community, and I want to apologize publicly, but also explain where I come from. In my culture that I grew up with, and I'm not sure if I want to say just the African-American culture, but that's what I thought it was, but we're a very diverse community as it is. So I'm just going to say in my African-American culture when I was growing up, you didn't get the term uncle or auntie unless you were a super close family friend of my family, right? Uncle and auntie, like unless you're my real uncle and auntie, of course, like if you're my mother's brother, mother's sister, yeah, that's Uncle Frankie, Uncle Michael, Uncle Johnny, Aunt Sarah, Aunt Jacqueline, all those, Aunt Angela. But Aunt Pat, can't miss any of the aunts. Am I missing anybody? Yeah, so if you were a real aunt or uncle, okay, legit. But if you were not, if you were just another person of age in the community, the only way I'm going to call you uncle, the only way I'm going to call you auntie is if you are a super close family friend. and you've earned that right where it's basically no difference between you and family. Uncle Rudolph is the only person, looking at the camera, Uncle Rudolph Muhammad is the only person I call uncle who is not my family, because he taught me from the age of 6 years old all the way till I was 14 years old when I got my black belt. I used to have a black belt. Lost it somewhere when I was traveling. Where did that black belt go? Anyway, yeah, that was a long time ago. I don't have the skills anymore, but I used to be all right. So he is Uncle Rudolph. And as I started coming around a lot more immigrant Muslims, Arabs and Pakistanis and Indians and things like that, you know, you realize that for them, their culture is anybody who's older than you, old enough, you're supposed to call them uncle or auntie. And everybody's calling everybody uncle or auntie. And there was an expectation on me to call them uncle and auntie. And then so I felt like there was a clash of cultures. I remember one time, because in my culture, out of respect, we call everybody who's older brother or sister. You know, that's Sister Sarah, that's Brother Malcolm, that's Brother, Brother so-and-so, Sister so-and-so. Like, so if you're elder in the community, all the young people call you Brother so-and-so and Sister so-and-so. That's respect. That's how we do in my culture. But in other cultures, if you call somebody Brother Yusuf, he'd look at you funny like, brother, who do you think you are, young man? It is uncle. And I'm looking at him like, you ain't my uncle. I only got one uncle who ain't family. That's Uncle Rudolph. So you know, it's just like a little awkward tension between the two of us. And it's 2018, and that tension has not been resolved. You know, maybe somebody can email in to info@deen.tv and tell me, you know, whose culture should dominate. You know, should other people who have come here from other cultures respect my culture and allow me to call them Brother Iqbal or Sister Amina out of the respect that I have in my culture? Or should their culture dominate and demand on me to call them uncle or auntie, even though for me that term is reserved for very close family members, and I always feel like I'm violating my my cultural norms when I call people who aren't close to me uncle and auntie. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't even supposed to talk about this show. I got on a tangent and it just came out. So we're going back to Uncle Rudolph. I said all of that to justify why I call this brother Uncle Rudolph Muhammad, who taught me martial arts from the time I was 6 years old to the time I was 14. So it went from a no belt, didn't know nothing, just sitting in the class wide-eyed, looking at all these men flying kick across the room. I was like, oh man, this is like a karate movie live. You know, I was just so wide-eyed. I loved it, and I got into it, man. I was all in. I didn't play no sports when I was little. I didn't play no basketball, I didn't play no football. It was all martial arts. I watched all the movies. For those who may remember, it was like a long time ago, we had Saturday night martial arts theater. I forget what it was called, but you know, the dub movies when you want to fight? Fight me. You know, all those movies and people flying across the screen. They weren't superheroes, but for some reason they could fly across the screen and jump on top of buildings and just do amazing stuff. And I was all in. I'm still all in. I still watch those movies. So I was just all about martial arts. And that class was so effective on me. It had so much effect on me that when I left Kansas City, Missouri, so after 14 years old, I moved to a suburb of Chicago. So I went from like an all-black neighborhood to a all-white neighborhood. We can talk about that on a different show. I'm not going to take a tangent again. I'm going to talk about that other cultural clash later. When I moved, I could not find another class that had the structure, that had the discipline that I found in Uncle Rudolph's class. So I was like trying to find another home. I would go into another martial arts class and I'd see all the white uniforms, because I studied Taekwondo, right? So I see these white uniforms and I go in there and I look at these people's kicks and their punches. I was like, who punches like that? Who kicks like that? That is so weak. You know, and why they got a high belt on? That they kick like a white belt. And they over here got a brown belt or a black belt on. I was like, psh. So I was just like judge. I was judging people. I was judging classes. I was looking for a class that the students were as precise, as crisp. I mean, when we kicked in my class, your uniform was supposed to snap. When you punched, your uniform was supposed to snap. That's how he taught us. So when you punched, it wasn't just like it was like and your gi, it was called a gi, would go pow. And when you kicked, your gi would go pow. You know, that's all we heard in class was like and I could not find that. Everywhere I go I went from Chicago, Illinois. I was there for 2 years. Ended up getting in some weird class, like some Japanese guy was having something in his basement, and all he had was like this hanging bag from his ceiling, and it was just like 4 of us, and we didn't even have uniforms. I felt like I was in some like secret club, you know, training. But I tried it, you know, it didn't work. Then I moved to Indianapolis, Indiana, and I met Brother Khalid. Brother Khalid, may Allah have mercy on him. He passed away many years ago. He was like, this brother was different. Everybody from Indianapolis, y'all remember Brother Khalid? He was different, man. I tell you, he was like Special Forces. I think it used to be Army Special Forces or something like that. And so he had this weird no fear. He had this weird no fear method of teaching students. And I remember one time in class, he was like, well, first of all, his method was I defend with attacks, you know. So he was like, when somebody attacks me, I ain't blocking. I'm punching your arm, trying to break it. He's like, I'm kicking your leg, trying to break. So when you attacked him, he would attack back. It wasn't like he was blocking. He was trying to punch your punches and punch your arms and your legs. It was like a weird style. And then he used to tell us like the will that you have to live. And it was the willpower that would dominate people. And he looked at us one time, he said, I don't care if you're my own daughter. You come at me with a knife, you're going to get it. And we were all like, yes, Brother Khalid. Yeah. So he didn't play. And so I studied, but he was a Kung Fu master. So I studied Kung Fu for a few years with Brother Khalid. And that was exciting. And then I moved from Indianapolis. I went into the military, into the Air Force, and then I came up to Northern Virginia, and I ran back into this guy named Abdul Malik, right? Now, Abdul Malik, I hadn't seen him in a long time, but this guy had started studying martial arts when he was like 14 or something like that. I don't know the exact age, somewhere between 13 and 15 years old. And he didn't stop. He didn't stop. I mean, I stopped. This guy has been studying martial arts for like, I don't know. He got some gray hair, so maybe like 25 years or something like that. And then, now you got this martial arts instructor, and then he had a baby, like a little baby. And he made a song about the baby. When Allah sends his Sakina on me, how do I feel? So he had a baby named Sakina, and he started training her from when she was in the crib, you know. She used to try to grab for the bottle, and he'd be like, "Hi-ya, can't have the bottle." She grab it, no, I'm making that up. I don't know what they were doing, but he must have been training her since she was like a few months old, stretching her out. You know, kids are more flexible than adults, so he must have been stretching her arms out, stretching her legs out, practicing her punches. I'm sure she was she was that little wide-eyed kid, even younger than me, because I started when I was 6. She must have been like 1 in class, just looking at her dad fly around, looking at these other people kick, punch, and do all this exciting stuff. And so she got in it. This sister got in it. She was training. She was doing her thing. And she, started traveling with her dad internationally, beating people up, you know. It was like getting on the metro. She'd be like, "You need to move, brother." No, I'm making some of this stuff up. But anyway, that's how I feel. Like she's a tough sister and she's a gentle sister at the same time. And alhamdulillah, she has agreed to come into this show to talk about it, to talk to all the sisters in the community and brothers about her journey to study martial arts, about her journey to be able to defend herself and therefore be able to defend others. And it is a very powerful gift and a very powerful tool that she has acquired. And hopefully on this show, we will cause you guys to think about this. And if you haven't developed the skills necessary to defend yourself and thereby being able to defend others, hopefully after the show, I hope that you are convinced that you need to get in the dojo. You need to train. You must reach the final level if you want to come and watch who's going to be the next guru, who's going to be the next black belt, who's going to be the next, I don't know, who's a fit, Bruce Lee. Who's going to, she might be able to come up with some other female martial arts names, I don't know. But we want to know who's going to be that person. We're looking for you. I remember watching a YouTube video, this sister from like Afghanistan or somewhere, Kazakhstan, one of the stands, and she was like a wushu master. She was like, wow, she was nice. You might Google her, check her out. But hopefully this show is inspiring you for you to do that and gets you to think about it, things to wonder about, think about. And we're going to come right back with an amazing guest, Sister Sakina Ahmed, the daughter of Abdul Malik Ahmed, when you come back to Think About It. I'm your host, Joshua Salaam, with the sponsor of Penny Appeal. We'll be right back.
Penny Appeal USA is really just an idea that manifested itself into an organization. We wanted to spearhead the next generation of humanitarian organizations to focus on true sustainability, transparency, and innovation. And though we're only a year old, we think we're well on our way to accomplishing that. People told us that what we were doing would never work. Put computers in low-income school districts? No one's going to support that. Develop an app that places social services at the fingertips of refugees, undocumented immigrants, and working-class families? You guys are crazy. And perhaps we were, but at each point, we knew that our supporters, folks like you, would be there. Whether you've supported us in the past or not, we hope you'll join us on our mission to end cyclical poverty, one sustainable program at a time.
Hey everybody, we're back. I'm still Joshua Salaam, haven't changed my name. I did change my name, but not now. And this is Think About It. And the sponsor of Think About It and Deen TV in general is Penny Appeal. You know, a little bit of change makes a big difference, so give all you can. I brought the guest on. I don't even want to say anything more. We're going to go straight to it, to Sakina Ahmed. Yeah. How you doing, Sakina?
Good, how are you?
I am good. You know, I've known you for a long time.
Yep, yeah.
I know you since before you was born. I knew your parents when they got married, mashallah. Yeah. I got a little picture of you and Musa when y'all was like little itty bitty kids.
Yeah.
When did you get into martial arts?
Well, I've always kind of been around martial arts and Silat, but I think I actually started officially when I was about 5 years old.
Okay,
so
officially?
Yeah.
There was an official entrance?
A class.
You had to come in and go.
An actual class.
Hey.
Yeah, and I got a uniform. So.
At 5?
Yeah.
Now you used a word that I don't know if our audience is familiar with. You said Silat. So break it down. What is Silat?
So Silat is an Indonesian martial arts.
Okay.
So it's kind of a mixture between a bunch of different martial arts, karate, taekwondo, and it has some like jiu-jitsu in it too once you get further along. So it's really,
Really?
Yeah, so it's a...
Silat has jiu-jitsu. You sure this just ain't your dad's class and he's bringing all this stuff together?
I mean, he might, yeah.
No, I'm saying that because my instructor, who I told you about, or you might have heard about in the previous segment, his name was Uncle Rudolph. Now he tells us, years later, that what I was actually doing was, you know, that form of taekwondo that you were studying wasn't really just taekwondo. I was bringing this in, because I was taking all these classes. So do you think your dad's doing something like that?
I think that every teacher kind of does that because it's good to do more than just one martial art so you can be a well-rounded martial artist. So I think doing that actually helps him and the students. So yeah, I think.
So would you say that that style that you're studying, which is like, you can't really, some people can't really put their finger on it, that it has made you a more well-rounded opponent when you get into the the kumite?
Yeah, I think there's different types of tournaments that you go to. There's like the karate tournaments, and then there's the silat tournaments. So I think being able to do a little bit of each is really good to be able to compete because you can kind of adapt to the different situation.
Really? Give me a scenario where you adapted in the ring. I'm saying the ring. It's not the ring. It's like they just got a boundary on the floor that you have to stay in.
Well, for like point sparring, which is it's just whoever gets like up to 5 points or whatever the point system is, whoever gets the most wins. So for that, it's kind of going quickly going in and just getting your point and then going out. Versus silat sparring.
Well, you make that sound easier than it is. How do you go in and get a point without getting kicked in the head?
So you have to make sure you move around. You can't just stay in the line of attack. So you have to be able to move to the right, move to the left, and just and then you have to do kicks because kicks are more points than punches.
Really?
Yeah. So
Why?
they're 2 points because they're harder to do, and when you do it, you are not just like kicking a bunch of times, right?
Did I get a point?
Yeah.
Did I get a point?
Exactly. So it takes more skill, and it's harder to do.
Okay. So I have. You're not afraid of anybody when you get into that square? You look at your opponent and you do that Mike Tyson stare down like.
No, I wish.
What do you do?
I'm really nervous usually when I'm about to fight. It's kind of just something that is normal and always happens, but it helps you. Those nerves help you have that adrenaline that will make you get through for silat sparring for that 6 minutes.
It's a 6 minute bout.
Yeah.
That's twice the length of a boxing match.
Yeah, so it's long, and though you just have to have a lot of energy and adrenaline. So those nerves are good. Yeah.
And in the heat of the battle, do those nerves go away? Do you be like, okay, that person just got a point. It's on now.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How's it go?
Usually it kind of just goes away once I'm in the ring and I kind of know what I'm doing and all my training comes in. So it kind of just, I get used to it and it just goes away. And
so
it's
you're not like one of those weird masters that I've seen on these movies that got to get beat up like 3 times before you be like, okay, now I'm going to really fight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like getting beat up, so.
Hey, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Sakina does not like getting beat. So if you get into a ring with her, you probably go get beat.
Yeah.
So you don't like getting beat, and therefore.
So then I try as hard not to get beat up.
That's how simple it is for you. I don't like getting beat, so I normally beat the other person. And that's how I got this. What is this?
This is my first place trophy from the Belgian Open.
Grab it and maybe just show it to the world.
This is a trophy.
I'll give him a chance to wait, put it up a little bit more. Let's do that again. Yeah. Yeah. MashaAllah. So you got that. Tell me about that. How'd you get this trophy? First place, Belgium. You went all the way to Belgium to get this trophy? I mean, not to pick it up. You went all the way to win it.
Yeah. So our silat team went to Belgium like a couple weeks ago to compete in the Belgian Open, which is countries from all over come and bring teams for silat sparring to compete. And I fought in weight class F, I believe.
You don't have to tell your weight. It's just weight class F. You have to go figure out what that is.
And so I fought 2 people, and that's how I won the trophy.
Really? So, but I read something online that, okay, yeah, this is first place, but because of that tournament and how many people came and where they came from in the world, you're considered first place like in the Western Hemisphere in a certain...
Yeah.
Explain that.
So I fought a girl from the Netherlands and then a girl from Germany. So technically I'm the first place in the Western Hemisphere in the European area, yeah.
You hear that, Germans? Das ist gut. Sakina is the first place. I don't have a good German accent, but she beat y'all. Now, I've been joking with you for years that I'ma spar you. Yeah. Right? And what do you say every time I say that?
We have class on Thursdays and Sundays.
You hear that? That's how confident Sakina is. I got her by at least 100 pounds, maybe. I don't know. And I used to train a long time ago. And when I tell her, hey, I'ma spar you, she's like, okay, yeah, we have class on Thursdays, and you can come by, 7 o'clock. I was like, Okay. So are you fairly confident in yourself if you had to defend yourself against a guy my size or bigger? Like your nerves might be there, but do you have an idea of what you would do to defend yourself?
Yeah. Well, first, I feel like that I can take a punch pretty well. So knowing that it gives me confidence that I won't just start crying immediately. But
What, you've taken a punch by your dad accidentally or something?
no.
Because I got a story about your dad.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I can say this. He's one of the editors. He might cut this out, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I was sparring your dad one time, and he's a better kicker than I am. Right? I feel like I might be able to get him with my hands, but kicking, I can't compete.
His kicks are pretty good.
His kicks are pretty good. Yeah. So and my footwork. I got pretty good footwork. It's from all that running. When somebody tries to fight me, I'm like, I'm out of here. That's the first line of defense, by the way. Get out.
Exactly.
Just run. So I was dancing around and I was trying to feel him out. And like you said, I wasn't standing in his line of attack. I was going left, going right. And so he would do a kick and I'd be like, whew, he'd do another kick. I'm like, whew. And then one time he did this thing where he faked me out. He did this fake kick and then he spun around the other way where I was running to and said, "Scoop," and kicked me right in my stomach. And I was like, all the wind came out of me. People had to pick me up. I was like, this is embarrassing.
Oh, wow.
I want a rematch, Abdul Malik. All right? If you ever watch this show, it's on after
you
practice on Sakina. So yeah, so you say you can take a punch, but then what? You don't want to just stand there. You said you don't like getting beat. You don't want to just stand and have some big guy. Well, because punches, some guys can knock you out with one punch.
Yeah.
Right? So what would you do? And this is also kind of like a lesson since you're trained. You've been studying now for 10 years?
I think longer than that, 11, 12.
12 years?
Something.
So you've been studying for almost 12 years, and you've been in a lot of sparring matches, a lot of fights, and so kind of, walk me through. Big person's coming at you, what's kind of some of the things that are going through your head and how you would defend yourself?
I think I would go for the weak spots, so I'd go for the eyes or the throat, so things like that, just not try and go just for the stomach or the head, because they're obviously going to be bigger than me. So obviously the first thing would just be to run, but if it came to that, then definitely.
So when you say go for the eyes, you mean like this or like this? Like how what do you do?
Just like that, yeah, or just wail on their face, yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry if this is funny, but it's so cool that she has this nice gentle voice. It's like, or go for the eyes or just wail on their face until they give up and submit and say uncle, even if they're not family.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but there's a mentality that you have, and you said it earlier, and I want to talk about this a little bit. You said when my training kicks in. And so there's this certain importance that long-term training becomes muscle memory.
Yeah,
right?
It kind of becomes second nature.
Second nature, right? So you don't, it's not like you're going to freeze for any long period of time, because when you see the punch coming at you, your reflex just take over from years of training.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of just becomes what you said, reflexes. So if somebody kicks at you, I know how to catch, and if somebody punches at me, I know how to move out of the way and then counter strike. So
and your mind isn't like, oh, there's a kick coming. I need to execute form 3.3 and move it just happens. It's like
Yeah, so we train for different situations and what to do when something happens. So when you train a lot in each of those, then it kind of you just remember how to do it. And obviously sometimes you'll mess up or you'll miss sometimes, but then you also know what to do once you mess up and how to make that mistake.
That's what training's for. That's what training's for. Training for just in case, to be able to protect yourself and to protect other people. Now, do you find a lot of Muslim women in martial arts, or are you one of the few?
I definitely am one of the few. In my martial arts class for the 11 to 12 years I've been doing it, it's always there's been girls in the class, and there's definitely one girl that has always been there. But it's always, people have come and gone, and it's really, people don't really stick with it, females especially.
Why do you think that is?
I feel like they don't have a lot of support from the community, and they feel like it's not like attainable for like a lot of times. Like you.
But don't they look at you and say, "Oh, she did it. I can do it."
Well, hopefully now that I got first place, hopefully that can show other girls and women that it's attainable and there is accomplishments that you can do.
Yeah, that's cool. Where do you do you see yourself, like, is that even on your radar? Like, okay, I need to be kind of like that inspiration or that role model for the girls coming behind me, or you're just like, look, I'm looking for the next face to wail on in a different region to get first place. What do you see your role now as a female martial artist who's been studying for 12 years? You don't come across that a lot, especially Muslim. Maybe a lot of females, but Muslim female martial artists. Where do you see yourself going from here?
Well, I definitely want to teach other young girls because I think that self-defense and martial arts is really important, and that a lot of it would come in handy for a lot of young girls. So I do have a class right now that I teach, and so that is really great to see.
Teaching?
Yeah, so that's great to see all the young girls that are excited about martial arts and enjoy it a lot. So,
cool. Well, what we're going to do, we have like a minute left. I want to leave that minute to show a little pictures of you, maybe some footage of you in different scenarios. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, in this last minute of this segment, just keep your eyes tuned on the screen. You're going to see Sakina Ahmed in action. You're going to see the form that she has. She's got some good kicks, good punches, and one day I might get the honor of sparring her and getting beat up like her dad beat me up. Then it's just going to be messed up. It's going to be like the Hatfields versus the, what is it, Mayfields versus the Hat. What's those two families? There was two families that used to always fight in America. It's going to be her family versus my family. Anyway, think about it as we take a break. Thank you to our sponsors, Penny Appeal. We're going to come back, and what I will win at, what I will beat up Sakina on is the game that I win on this show. You know what I'm saying? Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
To the right, and then when it pivots.
The cycle of poverty is vicious. It traps families for generations, making it impossible to break free. We started Penny Appeal USA to break that cycle, to ensure that families are able to live their lives without the burden of the past weighing them down and preventing them from a brighter future. We have a multi-pronged approach. Solve the problems families are facing today while working on long-term sustainable solutions for their future. This Ramadan, join our mission to end cyclical poverty. Visit pennyappealusa.org/Ramadan and donate today. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Joshua Salaam, and you are back on Think About It. And you see, that's what we can't really see it now, but that's what the sign says. And I am your host, and we want to thank Penny Appeal for bringing the show to you and helping us out at Deen.tv. And as you saw earlier, I have the guest of Sakina Ahmed in the studio, and alhamdulillah that she's good at martial arts, and she be, you know, holding it down over there and beating people up, but I'm about to beat her up in this game, you know. So y'all know how I do. I beat Naeem, waxed him, and now it's Sakina's turn. Did I win against Abdul Malik? I don't even know. I think he beat me. Anyway, so here you go. You ready? I go first because it's my show.
It's your show.
Yeah. Thank you. There you go. All right, here we go. Now, producers, I'm just going to say this. If you give an Arabic word or an English word, it is not fair to say the opposite. You know, so if the word is prayer, you don't want to say salah. Or if it's salah, I don't think you should say prayer. Just a general rule, okay?
No Arabic words?
No, they can use Arabic words, but you can't get me to guess it by saying it in English.
Okay.
All right? All right. Coffee.
Tea.
Okay. Nope, but that's a good guess. Why do people always do opposites? Black, white. I don't know. No, it's not tea.
All
Your
right.
turn.
Sheriff.
Deputy.
No.
Okay. I used to be a police officer, by the way.
Oh, really? Oh.
I'll tell the audience about that later.
Does
So the first clue was?
Sheriff.
No. My first clue to you was? Coffee?
Coffee, yeah.
Coffee, okay. Strong.
You said no, don't do opposites, but I'm tempted to do an opposite.
Well, my first clue was
coffee.
Coffee, so you kind of have to bring it all together. You weren't going to say weak, were you? No. So yeah. So think of all my clues because I'm trying to like work with you. So coffee was first, and then strong.
Caffeine.
Okay. Nope.
Deputy.
Didn't I say deputy? Yeah. Okay. So your first clue was sheriff, and then deputy. Police.
Yep.
All right. All right. And I said that. I was like, I used to be a police officer. Okay, so you got one. Scores 1-0. Okay. Coffee, strong, tiny.
Espresso.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're getting close.
Okay.
All right.
Bible.
Well, we already used the word Quran in a different show, so it's not Quran. It is Quran?
Yeah.
Producers, how you going to use the same word over? My goodness.
Is that 2 points?
Yeah, that's 2 points. Dang. Okay. I'm getting beat up in this too. Coffee. What did I say? Strong. What did I say something after that too? Tiny. Okay, let's say man, Italian.
Italian. Espresso, no. Latte. That's not Italian, though.
All right. You're going to have me stuck on this word.
I'm not a coffee drinker.
You're on word 3.
Sun.
Moon.
No.
Okay. Iced. Wait, before you answer, think of all my clues, which was coffee,
strong, tiny, or small, iced.
I think I had another word in there too. Italian, and iced.
So it's a drink. An Italian drink is what I'm...
I don't even know. It just looks like it to me.
Macchiato.
Okay.
Too complicated?
No, man, sounds like a good guess.
I just said sun, so rays.
Light?
No,
Okay.
this one's a hard one.
Rays. All right. Okay, come on. I got to get off this first word so I can catch up. Vanilla.
Frappuccino.
We're getting there. I do not. You know, part of the problem is I don't even drink coffee.
Neither do I. So.
And you don't either, man. So I guess I'm going to lose this game. Inshallah, I'll figure it out. All right.
C.
Sun, rays, sea, shadow?
No.
I don't know what else. Why did I say shadow? Sun, rays, sea. Okay. I don't drink coffee, man. I don't even know how to describe this drink. I don't know if it's Italian or not. I don't know if it's tiny or not. Yeah, I think espressos come in a tiny cup.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe that's not it. Okay. I don't know if it's iced or not. I'm just trying to get you to say the word. Okay. Starbucks?
I already said latte. And I said macchiato and frappuccino. What's another coffee drink? Decaf.
Man. Okay.
Let's see. This one would be
Sun, rays, sea.
yeah.
Okay.
Distance.
Sun is up there, shining over all of us. Rays, there's rays coming off of the sun. And then there's the sea. Now somehow you felt that the sea was a clue in this scenario. And now you're using the word distance. So sun, rays, sea. When you say sea, you talking about this sea or the sea like an ocean?
Like an ocean.
Like an ocean, okay.
It
Distance.
could be both.
I hope, I gotta say something, right? So, you said this is a hard one too, so it's not easy.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
Sun rays, distance. That distance threw me off, so I'm gonna try to stick with sun, rays, and sea, since those were the first clues, and I'm gonna say reflect or reflection.
No.
Okay. All right. Frappuccino.
I said that.
Yeah, I know. So I'm trying to use that as a clue.
Frappuccino.
Frappuccino, not just frappuccino. You gotta say frappuccino.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of all the Starbucks drinks I've ever had. I would say
Frappuccino. Hey, frappuccino,
I
okay?
bet the word's not even actually Italian.
I'm just saying it like it's
Yeah.
Italian. Hey, I want a frappuccino, please. Come on, Tony, give me a frappuccino.
Cafe con leche. It's not Italian,
What
but
is that? Is that a drink?
Yeah. No.
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 I'm going to lose on one word. You are really a martial artist. You beat me up so bad, I'm stuck on the first word. All right. Come on. Sun, ray, light.
Distance. Let's see. Car. I don't know if that was helpful.
Oh. Awkward. Solar?
No. No.
Yeah, I don't know how C would be in solar, but you know, the light, and then you were like car. I was like, maybe it could be solar
I
powered.
can see how you think that, yeah.
Okay. Frappuccino didn't help? The Frappuccino. Come on.
Okay, so does it end in chino?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You got to get me off this word. It ends in chino.
Okay. Another hint is.
Okay. Yes. I give you another hint. Hat.
Hat.
I hope this doesn't throw you off. But anyway, you got enough clues to.
Okay. Hat. Does it start with an H or something?
No.
Hat.
I would just start spelling it out for you.
Let's see. There's a frappuccino. There's cappuccino.
Oh, takbir! Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Oh my goodness.
Finally.
I don't even know what a cappuccino is, man, but thank you. That was the most rewarding word that I have got on this show. That just felt good. All right.
All right. Now I'm stuck on a hard word. Let's see. I already said distance. Is car sick one word? It is now.
Well, you said car. Now you're saying car sick. This is all the same word? Sun, rays, sea, distance, car sick. It's right there.
It's
Okay, somewhere in the middle of all of that. Sun, rays. Those were the first two clues, so those are the strongest ones. Sun, rays, sea.
I think distance was a helpful word too.
You think distance was helpful, huh? Okay, is that what you think? Distance. Car sick. What? Distance was helpful. Sea. Sun. What? Come on, man. Joshua,
Just
Sherlock.
guess.
Just guess. Heat.
No.
What does that have to do with car and car sick? Energy.
No.
I can't keep guessing.
You can't
All right.
get.
Okay. Nails.
Hammer.
Yeah, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. This is part of the fight where I sidestepped her, pow, pow, and I'm wailing on her. All right, we only got, all right, this is your last try.
Okay.
Can you get me to say the word?
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna say sky.
Sky, sun, rays, distance, sea, car sick, travel.
No.
Okay, well, we're out of time. What was the word?
Horizon.
Horizon.
Yeah.
Horizon.
The distance, the sun, the sea.
The sea, the rays, okay.
What's
the car have to do with it?
Because when you're car sick, they say, look at the horizon.
No, Sakina, nobody knows that except for you. But now that we all know, if you're car sick, look at the horizon. Yeah. And maybe we will get that next time. So how many words did you get?
1, 2, 2.
And I got 1, 2. Tie game. I came back and tied the game, so nobody gets the trophy. It's a tie here on Think About It. We want to thank our guest, Sakina Ahmed, for being an inspiration to all the young sisters and young brothers who are studying martial arts and trying to defend themselves and defend others. May Allah bless you guys and guide you. We'll see you next time on Think About It.